Hi everyone. 2 weeks ago we did our bar lettering practice, and I hope you've had plenty of time to put it to use. I've been seeing some great pages and projects that have been posted on the Facebook page, and I sure appreciate that. So this week I'm going to take it and make a sign using my bar lettering, and I'm using the sun that I did originally. The sun is up here. You can see where I've penciled it in, and you can see where I've penciled in all my letters. Now I go ahead and I do in pencil and I make sketch marks. You can see where there's things that are messy and not neat at all, okay? But that's how I get all my letters figured in to the space. And as you can see, I'm using one of the papers from A Moment in Time kit that has all these beautiful illustrations that I'm going to color in. So I'm going to do my letters in black, and then I'm going to color in these objects here so they'll stand out. Okay, so we'll do that later on. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. First, what I want to do is I'm going to take one of my pens. I'm going to go over my letters. Then I'm going to make sure that my pens are perfectly dry before I come back with my eraser. Okay, this is one of the Sakura erasers. I'm going to use that to remove all my pencil lines. And then once I'm done, I'll go to the next step. So for right now, we're just going to block in our letters and do one step at a time. Along with the bar lettering, I used all the space when I made my lines here. I made some random lines and drew my letters in. I used all the space just like you would here if you were doing your mean line and your base line. This would be your mean line, the top of your letters, go all the way up to the top of that, and your baseline, all your letters are drawn to the bottom. And that way you're fitting in the whole word to the size. So it's smaller here, it's larger in the bottom, and it gets more narrow. And that gives you some interesting, I think, a visual effect, an interesting view. So give that a thought. Also, I did some stacking of words. So be solid as a rock, as A is stacked on top of each other. That's another way to fit words into a space. This one here, the capital L, has the I sitting on top of the bottom here of the L. Okay, so I kind of stacked that I on top of the L. Another way when you're getting scrunched, think creatively of how to fit your words in. If they don't have enough room, see if you can stack them. If it's just a little bit of room that you need and you have something that has all this space, because if I did that I over here, I'd have a whole space here. So I utilized that space. I do that a lot of times. Let's see if I have one here. Usually I do it with an A. That's not really. But sometimes what I'll do is I have space, I'll fit that A in under something else. E's, anything rounded, O's, there also can be fit into other spaces. So anyway, this is the start, and now we're going to erase, and then we'll be back to start coloring in and having fun. I've erased all my lines from the background, okay, so you can't see them anymore. Hope that shows you a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my water brush and I'm going to paint around my letters, okay, and I'm not going to fill in the negative spaces. I'm just doing, I think you call these the positive spaces. I'm going to go around and do my hills kind of different shades of green, okay, as they go up the mountains. And then I'll be coloring in the sun and the rays, and then after all that dries, I'm going to come back and do the next layer. Okay, so now that I've got the background of all this and it's dry, one word of warning: when you are saturating scrapbooking paper with watered inks or watercolor or gelatos or any of those kind of mediums that you're using water to put them on with, your paper is going to peel up if you put too much water on and too much rubbing. Now, I don't worry about it too much, and what I do is whenever that happens, like it did right here, that one little spot, I wait for it to thoroughly dry. And here, you can see over here in this spot too, where it has a little bit, I don't know if I can show that to you, too much water over here, and it peeled up a little bit. I just take my thumb, or whatever finger that you want to use, and just rub it, and then that peeled paper will come off and it won't damage anything. But you have to wait until it is perfectly dry to be able to smooth that back down. Okay, so it takes a little more patience when you are watercoloring scrapbooking paper. It's not meant for that kind of medium. Okay, so next I'm just going to color in my objects here. I think that's going to be my next step, and then we'll see what happens from there. I've almost finished everything. I've got everything outlined. I think it's looking good. I want this butterfly to stand out maybe just a little bit more, so I'm going to add some stickles and try to give it some oomph. So, for lack of better words, oomph. So anyway, this is what I've done, and I'll show you a picture, of course, when I finish here. I hope that you get to try your bar lettering and maybe work it so that you are fitting it in some lines to get some creative lettering. Maybe stack some words together, or even stack them this way on top of each other, like the L and the I. Okay? Hope you had a great time with me. I've enjoyed it. And all I'm going to do is finish this up now and see you on the Frosted Design blog.